Okay, class, here we go. This is your intro to industrial troubleshooting, the first chapter. And we're going to cover this chapter and probably chapter 2 in another video so that we can have a test pretty soon. So, intro, first chapter. Now, what is problem solving? That's when you think about something that's wrong or something that you want to change and think of the best way to do it, and how to do those things. The objective of this chapter is to learn how to state and clarify a problem and develop a procedure for the problem solving and learn the traps in problem solving. So troubleshooting really is nothing but solving a problem. Now, what's typical to help, or should I say, what's typical to keep you from doing your best, or some of the traps that you run into? Self-doubt. Sometimes people think that they can't do something and they think they may mess something up, and so that's one trap. You got to know what you can do and how to do it and have confidence in yourself that you can do it. Overconfidence. Sometimes people think they know everything and then they'll try to just fix stuff and just jump in there like a cowboy and just get it done. But that's overconfidence is something that can get you hurt. So you gotta not be overconfident, but be confident enough to know your abilities and your limitations. Procrastination, that'll hurt you as far as troubleshooting goes. Putting stuff off when you know that there's a problem, or a machine or a piece of equipment is making a weird noise, or slowing down or speeding up when it's not supposed to. That's a problem. But if you keep putting it off, it'll only make it worse. Flip-flops, that's when you think one way and, well, we're going to do it this way. No, we're going to do it another way. Okay, we're going to fix it. No, we're not going to fix it. Indecisiveness, that's really what flip-flops are. And you can't be an effective troubleshooting if you're always flip-flopping. Just sit down, do your research, think about how you're going to fix the problem, and then go with it. Desperation, a lot of times people wait to the last minute, and then when something breaks and it's really bad, then they're desperate to get it fixed. So the first thing that comes to mind, that's what they do, and they try to do it in a hurry. Desperation can also hurt you in troubleshooting. And then you can just make the wrong conclusion. I mean, sometimes people try to fix stuff and they just wrong. So that will cost you time, cost the company money, because you just, oh, I think it's this, and you change out a part. Oh, I think it's that, I'm gonna shut the machine down, change out a part, but it doesn't fix the problem. And so that really is gonna get you into some trouble, because when you start wasting money and time, because time is money, then the boss is gonna look at you crazy. So don't jump in too fast and be wrong. Just try to make sure that you're doing the proper troubleshooting procedures so that you can get it done, and get it done right the first time. 6 things that you need to know for effective decision making. Focus on what's important. You know, a lot of times people expand too fast. What's important? What do I need to fix? You know, the first thing I need to fix, because one thing may be causing another thing to go bad. So you have to fix what's important. Is it to get the machine back up and running right now, put some duct tape on it, or is it best to schedule some time to shut it down and fix it and replace the whole thing, or just get something rebuilt? Or can you patch it? Can you weld it? Like I said, put some duct tape on it. So focus on what's important. Be logical and be consistent. Being logical means that think about the steps that you're going to take to fix the problem, and be consistent. Don't If it's the same problem, don't fix it one way this time and fix it another way. Well, I think I just tried. Did it fix it last time? Well, yeah, but it broke again. Okay, be consistent in what you do. Don't do it this way one time and this way another time. If what works on one machine, do it on another machine, or one piece of equipment, do it on the other piece of equipment. But be consistent, be logical. That way you can explain why you did it and how you did it, and somebody else coming along can duplicate that. Acknowledge objectives and subjective factors, blend analytical and intuitive thinking. In other words, think about use your knowledge as far as your school knowledge, but also your intuition saying, I don't think I'd do that if I was you. Well, those things do come to mind sometimes. So know about your objectives, what you're trying to do, and how you're going to do it. And then think about your schoolwork, and then also intuitive thinking, the things that you've learned from other people also. Don't gather too much information. Just get the facts. You don't need to know everything about it. Just what's wrong, how we're going to fix it, what problem is it causing, and that kind of thing. So, and try to reach a consensus. Ask the other people that's working with you, or maybe even your boss, okay, this is what I found wrong. This is how I'm going to fix it. These are the problems that it's causing. It may get worse. It probably going to get better. I mean, put everything on the table and then try to get a consensus or an agreement with the other co-workers, troubleshooters, or else your supervisor. Be straightforward, reliable, easy to use, and flexible. Now, straightforward is how you want to fix your problem in as few steps as possible. And reliable means that it's going to work that way or get fixed, on a different machine by a different person somewhere else. It's almost like writing a manual on how to fix a problem that other people can look at it and fix it the same way. Easy to use. The problem, the solve, I guess you could say, the way you fixed it is easy to use by other people. And then don't be so rigid with it that it can't move over to different types of machines or different types of equipment. Easy to understand and flexible. Now, there's a problem solving model, and this is a little picture I found, but it's called PROACT, and it's find the problem. What are your objectives? Like, why do you want it fixed? How do you want it fixed? How much are you planning to spend? That kind of thing. What's your objectives? To fix it within 30 minutes, to patch it, to fix it permanently, to order a new machine, to just shut that one down. What are your objectives? What are the alternatives? Is there another way to do it? Can I switch over to a different machine and make it run twice as fast? Or can I use a different piece of equipment that's going to help us out even more? So, and what are the consequences? Are there consequences for waiting? Are there consequences for going right in and patching it? Are there consequences for, having to order a part? And what are the trade-offs? If I go ahead and patch it, how long do I have before it breaks again? And if it breaks, what is it going to hurt? But then, am I going to be able to patch it long enough to order a new part? Or what are the trade-offs? Is it going to cost me more money to get a brand new one? Or is it going to be just about as much as a brand new one as opposed to a rebuilt one? So just some trade-offs to think about. Some of the additional factors are risk. What's the risk in fixing it? Is it going to, cost me more money if I fix it? Am I not sure that I can fix it? How long is it going to be fixed? And then also all of those decisions mixed in a pot, I guess you could say. Those decisions are linked together, which meaning one causes another one to react, and if I do this, how is it going to change that? So those things are linked. Problem solving steps. Well, first you need to state the problem carefully. What is wrong? What is wrong? And acknowledge the complexities or the things that's making it go wrong. Okay, I have a problem, and this is what's making that problem. And avoid assumptions. Well, I believe it's this. Well, I believe it's that. If you haven't gone through those things in a while, or you've never gone through them, try to make sure that you follow some troubleshooting steps, because you just assume that it's wrong, or you didn't like that machine, or you didn't think they should put that machine in a piece of equipment, and then something goes wrong. It may need a slight adjustment to it. But that machine ain't no good anyway. It was made somewhere in a state or a country that I don't want to mention, but prejudices. So specify your objectives. What are you trying to accomplish, or what are you setting out to do or fix? Be imaginative in your alternatives. There's more than one way to skin a cat, so think about those. And understand the consequences of the alternative. Is it going to cost me more money? Is it just going to patch it for a little while? Is it going to cost me more money to fix it permanently? So those are things you look at. And then grapple or think about your trade-offs. Grapple means to keep looking over and over them and wrestle with them, basically, the trade-offs. What's the best solution? A good solution to a well-posed problem is almost always a smarter choice than an excellent solution to a poorly posed problem. Well, what do you mean by that? What does this mean? Well, a good solution to a well-posed problem is almost always smarter choice than an excellent solution to a poorly posed problem. Really, you just have to know what the problem is. You have to know what the problem is before you start messing with things, taking things apart or changing parts out. You may have a decent solution, but if you know really what the problem is, that good solution may be the best alternative than getting this good solution, but you didn't even know the problem. You just replaced the whole machine when the filters needed changing, or something was stopped up, or something was broken, or bolt broke, and you had to put another bolt in it, basically. So excellent solution would be to replace the whole thing, but you didn't define the problem. If you had defined the problem, it wouldn't have cost you so much. So define the problem. What makes it a problem? What happened and why is it a problem? Machine running too slow, too fast, leaking oil? What's the problem? And then state the problem. What triggered it and what states it? How does this impact other decisions? Well, does it have anything to do with other parts of the the work site, or does it have any effect on any other departments? Is it going to slow them down? Is it going to make the whole plant shut down or the whole site shut down if you don't go ahead and fix it? What's the scope of the problem? Is it a little bitty problem, just something you can live with, or is it something that's going to be a big problem later on? What's the scope of it? How big is it? And then ask others about it. Gain insights from others. Ask people that's been there longer than you, other people that's been there, not as long as you, and just shoot it by them and ask them what they think, and then restate the problem if necessary. Just keep saying, this is the problem, this is the problem, and then sometimes you'll come up with even more and better solutions for it. What objectives do? Now, set some objectives, and what your objectives help you to determine is, what information do you need? Do you need to go on Google and find a schematic, or do you need to call the manufacturer? What do you need to do? What information do you need? Can you just look on the side of the machine and get that little silver square information off of it, and that may help you to make some decisions. So what information do you need? In the end, once you determine what you need, what's important, uh, shoot it by your coworkers and your other people that's working around and see what they think. Shoot it by your supervisor, see what they think, and then that way it'll help you determine the time and effort. The supervisor may say, well, yeah, you know what, don't worry about that, we'll work on that next week, or just keep running it because we got another one on the way, or it's been doing that off and on for years. So you just never know, and that'll help you to determine the time and the effort you need to put towards that problem. You identify your objectives by writing them down. Things you hope to do, that's your wish list. And then if you don't do them, what's the worst possible outcome? Is it to replace the whole thing and spend more money, or is it go ahead and fix it now, and it may shut the plant down or shut your line down for a couple of hours, but you may be able to fix one part. How's it going to impact others? Do we have enough inventory that other departments can keep going while you're working on this one piece of equipment? And then get some ideas from other people too. That's always important in troubleshooting, asking others about what they think. And convert your concerns into objectives and test your objectives. Test your objectives by, you can even go on blogs and find out what's wrong. You can punch in, say, my car doesn't want to get out of first gear, and then you put in what kind of car, and then you'll find a lot of people that may have had that same problem, and they'll say what they did and how they fixed it. And then make sure that when you fix your problem, find it and fix it, make sure you go back to that same blog, and then you say, okay, well, I did this and it worked, or I did this and it didn't work. So that way others will have a database they can go to help them, just like you went to this one to help you. Some alternatives, objectives, and ask how. How am I going to fix it? What are the constraints? What's holding me back? Well, I don't have that kind of money to replace the whole thing. So can I order just the part? Or do I need to take that part out and have it welded? Or can I just let it run and hope that I come up with some money before it breaks? Set high aspirations. High aspirations meaning that you want to fix it right and fix it permanently. So you won't have that problem again until it's time to replace everything, or the other machine, or the whole machine. Think through your alternatives before you consult others. Don't just be popping off at the mouth on different things. Think about what you're going to tell them. Think about what you're going to say. And it's just like trying to explain something to somebody that you hadn't thought out, because they can just ask you one question and it'll throw you totally off, and it'll discourage you to and you'll start doubting yourself. So think through your alternatives before you ask other people. Learn from past experience. More than likely, this may not be anything that you face for the first time, but even if it is, past experience doesn't necessarily mean it has to be your experience. It can be others. And ask others for help. Brainstorming, alternatives. Brainstorming means to sit down with others and think about just different ways to fix or what you need to do. Never stop looking for alternatives, because you can get a win-win situation in those situations. You can get to where it saves time, it saves money, and it's easy to do. So that's win-win. And when you've thought through your alternatives, just stop looking. Don't overthink it. Get simple solutions that's going to be quick, easy, and as least expensive as possible, and then go with them. And then still have some other things to think about just in case it doesn't work. Other than that, I think that's the end of chapter 1. Y'all go ahead and read chapter 1. There'll be a test on this chapter and I believe chapter 2 pretty soon. So go ahead, look over chapter 1, and we'll see you later. Thanks.